Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was a live broadcasting from Al Manara Center in here in Egypt, as President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attended the 42nd Cultural Symposium of the Armed Forces on Sunday, which is marking on the occasion of the 52nd anniversary of the October War victories. And to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have with us over the phone our dear guest, Major General of Staff, Dr. Mohamed Al-Ghabari, the former director of the National Defense College. يسعدنا أن يكون معنا على الهاتف اللواء دكتور أركان حرب محمد الغباري، مدير كلية الدفاع الوطني الأسبق.
أهلا وسهلا يا فندم.
تحياتي لسيادتك يا فندم.
عفوا
شكرا يا فندم. اليوم حضر سيادة الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي اللجنة الندوة التثقيفية 42 للقوات المسلحة بمناسبة احتفالات عيد أكتوبر التي توافق الذكرى 52 لاحتفالات أكتوبر. توقيت هذه الندوة اليوم يا فندم في سياق احتفالات أكتوبر.
الو
مع سيادتك يا فندم، اتفضل حضرتك.
هو طبعا هو التقليد اللي بيتعمل كل سنه
this tradition that is held every year through holding this cultural seminar or celebrating the Martyrs' Day on the 25th of April is a very important tradition, as these seminars raise a lot of information. It provides information about the 6th of October war, and it re-inspires the people about the great victory that was done by this people. And we have heard a lot today during this seminar about the spirit of the victory of October. And we talked today also about the economic reform, and that working on economic reform is another form of war similar to the 6th of October war. And these are all attempts to progress and move towards a better future. And I think that the economic growth would provide a better standard of living for the citizen, and also it would provide Egypt with economic power as well as military power, and this would enable us to deal with all the threats and all the risks that surround us. And it's the resilience of the people that helps us achieve all that. And this is one of the lessons learned from the 6th of October victory, as it's the people who support the economy, and it's the people of Egypt who are able to endure the developments and the reforms. Today in this seminar we've talked about the 6th of October victory and the lessons that will be learned from it, and also the President talked today about the importance of awareness and understanding of the people. The people should be aware of the needs, and the people should be able to endure the economic difficulties and the economic reforms for a better future. And also during the seminar the President talked about ending the Gaza war and supporting the humanitarian aid to Gazans, and also how it is important to achieve our national security at the same time. as the Egyptian national security is so important, and the president also talked about the reconstruction of Gaza Strip, as there is a conference that's going to be held here in Cairo for the reconstruction of Gaza, and the president talked about how can we support the people so that we can reconstruct the strip. Major General Chief of Staff, you have attended the seminar today. Yes, I've been there. You mentioned right now some of the points that came in the president's speech. The president today talked twice. In the first time, in the first part, he talked, and in the second part, the president delivered a speech. The president said in his main speech during the second part of the day that he always feels that he is part of the people. He is an individual exactly like the Egyptians. That was why he used simple words, because he feels that the words from the heart touches the heart. During his first comment in the first part of the event, he talked about the difficult surrounding conditions and how we are dealing with them. And in the second speech, in the second part, he felt that he needed to build upon what he mentioned in the first part. Chief of Staff Mohamed Ghabari, I cannot hear the question. Can you hear me, sir? Sorry, I cannot hear you. The voice of the interpreter is higher than your voice. Okay, sir. While attending the symposium today, President Sisi talked about the patience of the Egyptian citizen and how he is standing by his country through all challenges and difficulties. How you have seen that? The Egyptians are brought up that land is his honor, and in military it means victory or martyrdom. And he who wants to be a martyr means that he would do his mission till the end, because he wants to achieve victory. And this applies to the citizen. The citizen is the pillar of the progress and the development of this country. And today we have seen that great leaders like Nasser tried to do certain things, but they were not able to do the economic reform because they felt it was difficult back then. But as the president frankly said today that this is the right time to do these reforms, and he explained everything, and he said that it would be difficult, but we have to do it for the future of Egypt and the coming generations. This is the right thing to do. And he gave us example by talking about the income and the expenses, and what if the income is higher than the expenses and vice versa. So he's trying to explain to the people, because the people, when they understand, they stand by the leadership and the officials, and our unity is important. Mr. Major General Chief of Staff, the President today honored a number of the heroes of October. How did you see that? Of course, those who were part of the 6th of October war recognizes that a lot of officers, combatants and soldiers talked about that, and they talked about the difficulties and the importance of patience. And we have seen today how the president honored the war veterans, as this is so important. because the country needs to honor its sons who sacrificed themselves for the country. And also the living ones should be honored as the martyrs were honored, and the president honored them today, and this shows how the country appreciates what its sons are doing for it, and this is something great, and it is a very important example, and we totally appreciate this. Major General, the Chief of Staff, the President today talked about the negative impacts and the repercussions of war on any country. Sorry, I didn't get the question. Mr. Major General, President al-Sisi today talked about the repercussions of wars on any nation, and that it might cause hampering the pathway of development in any country. How did you see that? Of course, war is a problem, because the war consumes weapons, arms, ammunition, and they are very expensive. The tank costs a lot, about 25 million US dollars. So you do not want to waste these 25 million US dollars. And late President Abdel Nasser had a problem with development because of the war then, and this hampered the pathway of development. And now Egypt has developed, under the leadership of the President, Vision 2030, and we are working on achieving this vision for the development of Egypt. And of course, Egypt has a very important strategic location, so it needs to enjoy strength and to be strong enough. And we are under a lot of pressures to get into a war, but of course this is not for the interest of Egypt, because we need to work on construction and development. And after the 25th of January revolution, or the 30th of June revolution, we needed support and assistance, but unfortunately we did not receive it, so we had to take loans, and we have to repay these loans, as we mentioned. Thank you. Major General Dr. Chief of Staff Ahmed al-Ghabari, the former manager of the National Defense College.
Thank you very much, Major General of Staff Dr. Mohamed al-Ghabari, and the Major General of the Staff and former Director of National Defense College. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, have attended on Sunday the 42nd Cultural Seminar, which is organized by the Armed Forces on the occasion of the 52nd anniversary of the October War victories. Addressing the event, President al-Sisi said that victory chances were dismal during the war days, but thank God that victory was destined. The President also said that what happened in 2011 is another war that Egypt overcome peacefully, and added that its repercussions lasted 4 years. The President also said that Egypt have overcome many challenges, including the coronavirus crisis. He also said that efforts were exerted to stop the war in Gaza and help the Palestinians. The President also said that repercussions of war impact countries and their economies, adding that any war will delay the path of a nation for years. The President also said that war against terrorism cost the armed forces £100 billion. He said that wars have numerous forms, not only by weapons. The President also added that he was optimistic about Egypt's position now, and that he believes that the economy will improve by the efforts of the Egyptians. President added that he has always counted on the Egyptian people despite the economic hardships, and he praised the patience of the Egyptian citizen. He also said that the state pays attention to the public opinion of the people, but the challenge is very big. During the ceremony at the seminar, President Sisi saluted the heroes of October War, shaking hands with the veterans of the war, and also the President have honored a number of them. Documentaries telling the story and memories of the war were shown. A show also shedding light on the highlights of the war and how the people and the army have reacted to the events then was presented. The seminar is held at Al Manara International Center in New Cairo. The seminar was also attended by Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Defense Abdelmajid Sakr, and the commanders of the main branches of the armed forces and senior state figures. Officials said that the seminar comes within the framework of the keenness of the General Command of the Armed Forces to document and immortalize the historic acts and sacrifices of the members of the armed forces who sacrificed their souls for the sake of the homeland. That was a coverage for President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's attending the 42nd seminar, cultural symposium of the armed forces.